Here with us now is David Carlucci, Democratic strategist and former New York State Senator, and Jeff Burton, GOP strategist and co-founding partner at Maven Advocacy. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to both of you. President Trump, like I mentioned, touted success on the economy this week in Ohio and Kentucky. The lower gas prices were a hallmark for the administration. He touted that all year long, the last few months, really. Those prices are now up since the war started. Jeff, what should the White House do next, not only on the economy, but under the pressure from this war?
Actually, the first thing we have to understand is our economy doesn't happen within a vacuum. The global economy, it's a global economy that is affecting our gas prices, our housing prices, energy, everything that Americans go at the grocery store. It's higher now. It's down from 2 years ago, but the White House needs to focus on an economic message that the working families tax cuts, the American people are getting the largest tax refunds they've ever had right now in their pockets. It's going to help ease some of that pressure for inflation, but it does have to come down, and it has to come down soon.
It really does, and I have no doubt many Americans echo that sentiment. David, I want to show you some new data. It came out on Friday. It shows the economy grew at half the rate as originally estimated in the fourth quarter, in a sign that last fall's government shutdown did hurt growth, which you and I talked about last fall. What needs to happen for Washington to get back on track?
Oh, well, there's a bunch of things. I think that winding road that the president spoke about was really his administration. We have taken a turn, right? The numbers we see have actually nothing to do with the war. Core prices have inflated. Now we can all expect even higher prices. That's a problem because the president's not talking about this at all. His answer is attack Iran, add tariffs, pass the SAVE Act, meaning take citizens off our voting rolls so they could reprove their citizenship. That's actually the president's #1 priority. He has told Congress not to send him a single bill until they could pass the SAVE Act. That's a problem. That's not speaking to what Americans want. You could ask 100 Americans, it will not be on any one of their top priority lists to pass the SAVE Act. So this president is slipping further into a fantasy land. He is totally out of touch with what average Americans are feeling. And that means higher prices. So until that starts to change, until we could actually get the president to sympathize, to empathize with the American public is going through, we are on a bumpy road ahead.
Let me stay with you, David, because just this week, Senate Democrats blocked a bill that would reopen DHS. I'm pivoting a bit to the government shutdown. It included funding for ICE and CBP. Is there a path forward for Democrats on that issue, David?
Yeah, there absolutely is. And you saw Senator Murphy put forth a bill to reopen the Coast Guard, to reopen TSA, to reopen FEMA. And each time the Democrats put that forward, it was Republicans that blocked it. Now, Democrats are demanding some simple changes to reopen this part of the government. And that is to make sure that law enforcement, all of law enforcement, particularly our Customs and Border officials, are following the law that we expect or the rules we expect. That's to identify themselves, to know that they're actually a law enforcement officer, to get warrants, to take the face masks off, just like we demand of all law enforcement. This is very simple, and it shows that the Republicans are unwilling to govern. This is a part of governing. It means compromise.
Let's bring Jeff in. Would Republicans ease any of their demands to get past that stalemate that David was just talking about, Jeff?
Republicans have twice now passed a bipartisan bill through the House that funds all of DHS. Government doesn't work on piecemeal. You can't fund part of an agency and let the other parts of the agency just sit there not being funded. It doesn't work that way. And this bipartisan bill, twice now, with Democrats voting for it in the House, yet it's Democrats in the Senate that are holding this up and now taking paychecks away from TSA agents, threatening FEMA with disaster should anything happen, and shutting down parts of critical part of the government, especially when we're in this global war right now, and who knows what's happening and what gaps there are because of that, and because DHS not being funded right now. And it's 100% a Democrat issue that they won't come to the table in the Senate at all. It's not a simple issue, and they're not just asking to request to require the current law. You're asking for a completely different setup of what's been done.
What?
David, I'll let you respond. Go ahead. Oh,
what are these different demands? The demands are very clear. Take off the face masks, show identification, and get a judicial warrant when you're approaching and going into someone's home.
Jeff, I'll
What
give you
else
the
are
last.
they asking for?
I'll
What's
give you the
wrong with
last
that?
word, Jeff. Go ahead.
The president has come to the table with wearing body cams. That's not enough. The DHS Secretary Christiane was fired. I don't know what more you want. It's not
I was very
done
clear.
that way through policy.
Very clear. Very clear. Americans demand that they don't want to be approached by masked, unidentified.
No, David, you're demanding. Americans aren't demanding that.
Yes,
Americans
they are.
Aren't demanding that. It's the progressive wing that controls the Democratic Party right now.
No American.
That's what's demanding that.
We're going to end it
patrols
there.
roaming the streets.
We're going to
They
end
don't
it
want
there.
that.
Gentlemen, thank you for so much for coming on. And this is the conversation happening at so many breakfast tables right now. So I appreciate you, both of you, talking about this with me. David Carlucci, Jeff Burton, we appreciate it. Thank you.